Hello everybody, it's Vinyl Rich here with Vinyl Video Finds number 33. Before I start showing my new vinyl, I have two things that I want to mention. First off is my last video. I showed some 10 inches, and even the video before that. I wasn't really feeling it, and that 10-inch video, it wasn't as good as it should have been. It wasn't up to the Vinyl Rich standards, should I say. Some excellent records, obscure stuff, maybe stuff some people haven't seen before, but I just didn't really add anything to it. I mean, on my videos I like to tell my personal stories, you know, involved with the bands I'm showing, or a little bit of, you know, what I know about the band, and, you know, a little bit of humor if I can. And that video was kind of a little blah by my standards. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy, I'm not going to come on here and say, hey, it's Vinyl Rich and it's video number 33, yeah, woo. You know, I'm not, gee, that would just take too much fucking energy, Jesus Christ. Cheers, everybody. Now that's a beer. 24-ounce can. They call them the oil cans. Foster's for you. Well, anyways, the first 10 inches. First 10 inch I showed was the Dickies. I saw the Dickies. I mean, before they were signed to any record labels. I have some really good stories. In fact, they were the first LA punk band I ever saw. I mean, I have an unreal story of them at Perkins Palace in Pasadena, and you know, I'll tell these stories, you know, next time I show a Dickies record, if I remember. But second 10 inch I showed was Cheap Trick. I saw Cheap Trick maybe 2 or 3 years in a row on New Year's. And one of the years, I used to get good seats. My uncle was the head light man at the Forum. I had another uncle that was, I believe he worked with the sound. But my uncle Aubrey, he used to get me good seats at the Forum. And we always used to at the Cheap Trick, we were like on the side, maybe like 10 rows back, you know, where the basketball players would be, you know, on the court, and the band was, I mean, we were in good seats. But apparently the girl, I mean, I saw the commotion, but I didn't know what was going on until I found out later. There was a girl that committed suicide, you know, at the strike of midnight, and it was like, gee, man. And, you know, these are the kind of stories or, you know, personal experiences that I want to add to my videos. It's kind of like not just a show and tell. I like to have a little oral history involved. The third 10 inch I showed was Nina Hagen. Excellent. It's an excellent 10 inch. Nina Hagen, I have a few of her albums, and they can kind of wear on you, you know, through the whole album. That 10 inch, man, is perfect. But anyways, I have a flyer here I'm going to show. Nina Hagen at Fender's, was it? Yeah, Fender's International Ballroom. And yours truly made this flyer. Thought I'd show that. I've shown some flyers in some of my past videos, and I'm gonna show some more. And there's my famous little dog. Not so famous, but whatever. Another 10 inch I showed was the Bad Brains. And here's a flyer to a concert I went to, also at Fender's. Bad Brains with the Adolescents, the Crumbsuckers, Final Conflict, and Instead. Now, Instead were good. Final Conflict, they were a thrash. I mean, they played fast. They were excellent. Mohawk wearing band. They were really good. Crumbsuckers, if I remember right, were pretty good. Adolescents were good. And then here come the Bad Brains, and to be quite honest, they were underwhelming. Their punk songs were excellent, but you know, they would do maybe 3-4 punk songs, and then they would do 2 or 3 reggae songs or dub songs, whatever you call it, and their reggae subpar. I mean, come on, give me a break. I mean, they were a great. They had some great punk songs, but their reggae, it's not that great. Next thing, my last vinyl finds video was stuff I found at my first record show that I went to. Check it out, it's a good video. But I showed this single. There we go, Neil from the Young Ones. I got a hole in my shoe. I'd never heard this. Apparently it was a hit in the UK, and this is I enjoyed this a lot, man. This is a great single. It's on YouTube. Check it out. It's kind of psychedelic with a little humor in there. Really well done. I like this. Now, my new finds. Well, this show, I have a few more flyers I'll show before we get started. Just some kick-ass shows here. Here's one with the Cramps and Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. I mean, come on, man. That's a lineup right there. This here, check this one out, man. This was a great show. I believe it was the Hollywood Palladium. You got Sonic Youth. Plus these two hot bands. Nirvana and STP, Stone Temple Pilots. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. And here's a thrash show. Anthrax, DRI, Corrosion of Conformity, Possessed, and No Mercy. Possessed and No Mercy were leaned more on towards the heavy metal side of things. DRI, Corrosion of Conformity, they were more of the punk, and those actually were my two favorite bands at this show. Anthrax, they were pretty good. I don't think they were as good as DRI, but they were good. And what turned out to be the last song of the show, the singer Michael Muir from Suicidal, he came out, sang a song with Anthrax, and when that song ended, some guy rushed the stage, got up on the stage. You know, I mean, there was, at these shows in LA, there was always stage diving. But this guy got up on the stage and he just ran straight through the drum kit. It was the funniest thing I ever seen. And that ended the show. You know. The bouncers took that guy out back, and who knows what happened to that poor son of a bitch. But one more I'm going to show here. Death Ride 69. This one here, it reminded me of I don't remember the guy. Can't remember the guy's name. He has a YouTube channel, and I guess he's moving between two houses, and he's always talking about, yeah, this is some muscle car garage rock, and you know, he shows a lot of garage rock, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Really good taste in music, but this kind of reminded me of him. I wish I could remember the guy's name. But anyways, first record we're going to show. This is my only record store day purchase. I believe it's a record store day. It didn't have any stickers on it. It came out, what's that in there? Maybe it's a download card. Yeah, there's a download card. But anyways, the White Stripes, the complete John Peel sessions. Man, it's kind of, the light is glaring it on here. Really cool. It's funny, I have all the White Stripes on CD. I didn't have any vinyl. And within like a week's time, I ended up with 2 White Stripes vinyl. At that record show, I showed the vinyl, their album. It was their 3rd album, I believe. And then I got this one. And let's see what's inside. I forget. It's pretty good. I had heard a lot of these songs on download sites. I mean, they're good takes on the songs. Let's put it that way. Sleeves, and they're on colored vinyl. Translucent red. And this is pretty cool. This is about as close to a vertical swirl as I'll get. And the other one I would imagine is probably white. Yeah. And it's got a red and black swirl pattern on there, circular pattern. But yeah, within just about a week, I got 2 White Stripes vinyl. This one here I got for a couple of dollars. Tom Rush. Didn't know nothing about this guy. I don't know if he's on the docks in New York or Boston or whatever. Probably New York. This album, way better than what I expected. I mean, it is good. The first song, Long John, man, what a great song. And it's got John Sebastian, the vocalist from Love and Spoonful. He plays harp on it. You got some other songs on here with, who is that guy? Oh, Felix Papalardi. He was the guitar player for Mountain. He also produced like the Cream albums. But this is a really good, it's a folky or acoustic-y, real bluesy, really good album. I mean, I highly recommend this. Tom Rush. If I see any of his other stuff, I'll definitely pick it up. And it's on Elektra. Okay, this next one is a band that I've talked about a few times. It's not for everyone. Nod. This is the first album that I ever heard by this band. I have it on CD. It's Chonderland Volume 1. I guess Chonderland is the name of the studios. They always have such cool covers. And side A is Tron, Visions of Load, and then side B is the Vertical Dead. Nod. I've said it before, they're my favorite current band. Really hard, abrasive. They're kind of droney. They call them drone krautrock or whatever, you know, I don't know. But yeah, it's on white vinyl, like a lot of theirs, with these custom sleeves. Really good original band. I love that band. Next band, Unheard Rejects, the Cockney Rejects. This is from 1979 to 1981, unreleased material by them. Really great. I have a CD. I don't believe it's called Unheard Rejects, but that's what it is. And yeah, it's got some really early versions of songs. It's got some instrumental reggae. This is a really good album by one of the better hardcore punk bands. Flipside CT, he showed a history of British punk album maybe a few weeks back, and I noticed this band is on side 3 of that album. He made the comment that side 4 is a little rough, or a little hard, I think is the word he said, and I understand that. I mean, that hardcore punk's not for everybody. But those British bands, Exploited, GBH, especially GBH, they were a good band. But flip side, check this the Cockney Rejects song out on side 3. This could be your introduction. This band could be your entry into the hardcore punk, the 80s punk. Really, one of my favorite bands. And I think I have all their albums. I should make a video of them one day. They never played LA until way late in their career. And this is on Wonderful World Records. I believe this record has recently been reissued. So you can find this fairly cheap now. The reissues at least. But yeah, when they finally did play LA, they played at the Olympic Auditorium. Like I've said, that was a giant place. I mean, I don't know how many thousands. It was more than 5,000 fit in that place. I don't know if it was 10,000. But yeah, these English punk bands, they used to be blown away at how big the crowds were in LA. But I was so disappointed in the Cockney Rejects when I saw them. They evolved into a kind of a heavy metal and more like an AC/DC sounding heavy metal than that thrash metal that a lot of the punk bands actually innovated, if you ask me. A lot of these thrash bands, they're just playing high-speed punk with, you know, that drum, and they add guitar solos. But yeah, they were really disappointing. And they have a documentary that I have, the Cockney Rejects. I highly recommend that. It's, even if you're not a Cockney Rejects fan, you will really enjoy that video. It tells a lot of the history of East London, and they even acknowledged their mistake when they played that gig. But anyways, this next band, I got a couple more flyers I'm going to show before I show the album. And this is a Christian Death. There was a club here called the Helter Skelter. Late 80s or maybe it was early 90s. They're playing with Patrick Mata. He was from Community FK. But yeah, Christian Death. Their first 3 albums are off the chart. I mean, they're excellent. You got Theater of Pain, Catastrophe Ballet, and Ashes. Those 3 albums are all good. And then Specimen, Christian Death. Good. This was a really good show too. Specimen was a band from London, early 80s. They played that Bat Cave scene in London. But anyways, this is the record I got here. Christian Death, Death Wish. It's on a French label. I'm not gonna try and butcher the name. But yeah, the thing with the Christian Death albums, they had always such great artwork on their albums. This is an original. The only problem with it, the reason I got it for so cheap, it didn't have the book that originally came with the album. This is the labels. This has been reissued. And I don't know if I should get the reissue just to get the book, but the books are really cool that come with these albums. This French labels albums, the Christian Death ones. And what this album consists of, it's the very first recordings by Christian Death. There was a a compilation, Hell Comes to Your House. I've shown that album. And they did some material for that compilation. And the only song that made it onto the compilation was Dogs. And that and the 45 Grave songs are probably the best songs on the comp. They should have put some more Christian Death on that comp. But it's a good comp. It's one of my favorites, maybe in my top 5 of all time. But yeah, this is the very first recordings of Christian Death. Really good. Death Wish. Now, I mentioned before that I'm going to make a David Bowie video, and I've been putting it off and putting it off. And, I started pulling my David Bowie albums. There's a couple there I still have to locate. But I was surprised I couldn't find a Hunky Dory. And I'm pretty sure I had Hunky Dory. It never was one of my favorites, to be honest with you, in the 70s. I like the Ziggy and the Stardust. And Aladdin Sane was probably my favorite. I really like those. And then I like Station to Station and all that stuff that he did. Amazing. I didn't get into Hunky Dory until the 80s, and it's an excellent album. But I'm a member at Borders. You get 10% off anything you buy, and they do send you coupons for 20% off. So I usually get 2 albums every time they send those coupons, 30% off. And the first one I went there looking for Hunky Dory. They didn't have Hunky Dory, but I got Beach House, Depression Cherry, and it's on Sub Pop. And this is that velvety, this is velvet cover, like that Bee Gees album. And I've only listened to the album once, and it didn't overwhelm me. With the 30% off, I only paid $14 for it, so I mean, for me that's not bad. Beautiful album cover, nice inner sleeves. I forget what the label looks like, plain label, that's why I forgot. There's nothing going on there. Black on black, nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's not a bad album, but the songs didn't really grab me, and I don't know, it sounds like stuff that I've heard before, 20 years ago almost. But anyways, I was gonna get one of those Rolling Stones. They had a 3-record set there from the 1980 concert, that tour they did. There's 3 albums and 1 DVD. Then they had another Rolling Stones 4-album set from the Steel Wheels, is it? The Steel Wheels tour. And I saw the Rolling Stones on both of those tours. And that one was 4 albums and a DVD. And I thought, man, with 30% off, I could get these for like $30, and that's not bad. 4 albums and a DVD for $30. But I went there and I asked him, I go, you guys don't have Hunky Dory, huh? And he goes, no, let me check. And no, he goes, but we can order it for you. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, order it. Order it for me. So I put the Rolling Stones ones back. And I got the Beach House, and they ordered the Hunky Dory for me. And this is it. I got a brand new reissue, the Hunky Dory. Really beautiful. No barcodes. Beautiful cover. Beautiful album. One of his best. I mean, this is a great album. It comes with this insert. All the lyrics. Great album. And this sounds phenomenal. I may get some more of these Bowie reissues. It's kind of cool how they did it. the label. It looks like that RCA, but instead of RCA, it says Bowie. Pretty cool how they did that. And real thick vinyl. They come in these beautiful polyline sleeves, and I was really happy with the sound. I would have to say they sound better than the originals. They definitely sound better than that Dynaflex bullshit. I may get probably Ziggy Stardust, Aladdin Sane, the man who what is that other one where he's dressed like a woman? The Man Who Sold the World, or I can't remember. Anyways, I've been babbling long enough. Take care, guys and gals. Have a good day. I know I will. I don't have to go to work tonight. Just got home from the park, did a little jogging, took my dog for a walk. My dog's pooped out. He's asleep over there, man. He's knocked out. But anyways, take care, guys and gals.